Joe Talks just subscribed. Thank you so much. All right. How's it going, everyone? Got a little quickie for you guys tonight. We'll see how long this goes for. I'm gonna load this version of the stream while I can. All right. So. Hello to Ryan Lista, Fresh Mango, Sonic Forces 2017, Chelsea, Just Cliff, One Click Boy, Joy-Con Nation. How you guys doing? I see. Take us to dinner first date. I mean, I'm not trying to make a reference to certain adult activities that Quickie might refer to. I'm just referring to this live stream being a short live stream. That's all. It's going to be short mostly because I have one video that is currently uploaded that I will be sending live after this stream. I was going to send it live before the stream, but sometimes like that affects viewership, so I'll just do it after the stream. It's not a big deal. And on top of that, my fiance gets off work at 10 p.m., and I wanted to make her a dinner. Nothing fancy. I'm just making her like burgers and stuff on the grill, which in Wisconsin in the middle of winter is a little kind of sucks, but whatever. I'm going to do that for her and stuff like that. So about 9:45-ish, 9:50 is when I'm going to end the stream, get the other thing up, go cook. She's usually back here by like 10:20 or so, so it gives me like a half hour to get her meal done. So that's basically what it's just a quick stream. I don't really have a topic for the stream. Don't really have it, whether it's a Q&A. I don't know what. I don't know. I just figured I'd just chat with you guys for a little bit. Because it's, man, what a day. What a day, man. Obviously, I had that 3-hour stream? Something like that earlier today. That little debate. That was definitely interesting. So... I mean, that was something that happened today, I guess. How was your guys' weekend? We got the Rams going to the Super Bowl. We got Chiefs in New England currently in overtime. Although it looks like New England is driving. So we'll see if they score a touchdown or not. What is up on Arcadia? That was a great stream earlier. You were laughing really hard through it. I was laughing a lot in that stream, too. I don't know if that came through. I had a lot of smirks and a lot of smiles going on. I know that. Let's see here. Good weekend so far, says Just Cliff. Awesome. Why not stream Arena of Valor sometime? Nate says Yusuke. I'm just not into those kind of games very much. I have it. I've played it. It's all right. It's just, it's not... Some people are really into those games. I have my best friend, Eric, one of his friends, Chris, really likes like League of Legends and stuff like that. So he's really into those kind of games. It's just not really me. It's not really my cup of tea. Let me see. Magman says, it's been good. I'm nervous as hell about my improv show you're doing this weekend, though. Nice. Well, good luck with your improv show. I wish you lots of luck on that. Ryan Lista says, to me, that was far from great. If I could, I would not have watched. But I had to stay to mod some people that were getting too out of hand. Yeah, I don't think our... Hey, Neil Willis hits us with that $25 donation. Coming in hot. Thank you so much, Neil Willis. Don't know if you caught that stream earlier and that's why you did a 25 spot instead of the usual 10. But thank you so much, Neil. I appreciate that support. I literally just got the notification on my phone too. So, man, thank you so much for the support. $25 donation from Neil Willis. And New England's going to the Super Bowl again. Well, that was quick. That was a quick overtime. All right, so it's the New England Rams Super Bowl for those who care. So Ryan Lisa, I blew out your ears with that Neil Willis. I'm sure I should have backed away further from the mic, to be honest. But let's see here. But I had to say to mod. Yeah, I'm sure the mods had to take care of some stuff during that stream. That was one of the few live streams I didn't read the chat. I was too busy laughing. So like, you know what? I didn't really want to read too much of the chat and get the chat heavily involved in that debate between just me and him. But it was definitely different. That's for sure. Now you can tell. I think what you can tell on this channel, we've done 2 debates now, right? We had the Player Essence debate and now the GameSta debate. What I think you could tell is like there's a big difference between like someone like GameSta and someone like Player Essence. Like Player Essence, one, respects my channel and respects me, and is just, I guess, even though I disagreed with a lot of the points he made during that debate, that's the point of a debate. We're going to disagree and be on opposite sides. That's fine. It didn't devolve into that, right? Like, yeah, Player Essence and I got pretty passionate, and our voices would get raised, but it didn't devolve into that. The GameSta debate was, I guess, what you would call why I don't do debates with fans very often. And the thing is, I don't want to feel like I am someone who is above anybody else, because I'm not. I'm just a gamer. I'm just a person on YouTube talking like anybody else. No, I'm not above anyone. But like GameSta is obviously a little bit of an extreme case, but debates with fans often turn into something they shouldn't be. I've seen this happen at other channels too. Debates with fans usually go a little overboard. And like Player Essence, he likes my content, but he's more of a peer than he is a fan, right? Like he likes my content, but to be honest, he really cares more about his own work and all that stuff, and he just appreciates that there's other YouTubers, creating this community that he's part of. So I don't know if I call him a fan of my content. He's more so like a colleague. And when you're having a debate with a colleague, there just seems to be a certain level of respect, a certain understanding of lines you don't cross. You guys, if you didn't see the debate earlier, GameSta crossed lines that another YouTuber, probably like an actual respectable YouTuber, would not probably cross. Things about my fiance, things about my kids. Things about me as a parent. Like these are things that I don't like when fans cross that line, let alone, in a debate like that. It really, really bugged me, and it took probably all of my willpower to not just hang up on him right there and just be like, no. But I didn't want to end the debate that way. I did not want that debate to end. Not just because it makes him look bad. I mean, I think obviously what he said at the very end at the very end, is probably the worst thing he said, even worse than what he said about my fiance and my kids. But I didn't want that to be the lasting impression of that debate. Does that make sense? With us yelling at each other and him just like insulting my family, like that's not that would have made the debate entirely unproductive, because the whole point of that debate was someone calling me fraudulent. And that I'm a fraud, that I'm not a real fan of anything, which I don't need to justify my fandom to anyone. Versus me, who's just genuinely curious how someone can come to that conclusion based on the content I make, based on my live streams. And what I got out of it is that people can come to that conclusion if they don't bother to watch your content. So I don't really plan to do more fan debates, let me tell you that. I'm good. That doesn't mean I'm not willing to have fan conversations. That doesn't mean I'm not willing to do. I've even debated on this, doing a Google Hangout with patrons once per month. That is something I've debated as adding to as a Patreon perk, and it can even be public. Like there could be public commentary happening. Like you guys can be watching the conversation. But I thought about doing like a once per month public stream. With our patrons, where our patrons can all get in a Google Hangout with me, and then they can ask me questions and stuff like that. But get a lot more personal style of conversation going. So that is something I thought about adding, and that would be less of a debate, more of a, hey, ask some questions and we'll answer, and if you have a follow-up question, I'll answer that as well, and we'll just kind of keep the truck on moving. I think that is something I might be adding to Patreon soon. So if you haven't considered being a member of Patreon yet, hey, patreon.com/NintendoPrime. That's probably one way that you can maybe get on a video like earlier today, although it won't be a debate. It'll just be a, hey, once per month live stream with patrons. How much does it cost to be a patron? Right now, as little as $1. The thing is, if we have too many, I'll probably do that thing once in like a week here, or later this week or something. And if too many patrons show up for that, I might have to limit the people that can be on it. Like basically take it off the $1 tier and make it so the $5 or $10 tiers are where you can get in on that actual stream, that actual conversation, that Google Hangout. Just because I have 52 patrons right now. We were at 53. We lost someone today. I think they didn't like the debate, so whatever. You know, if all 53 show up, it's going to be really hectic on me. So we'll see how it goes this first time, and if everyone shows up, then in the month of February, I'll have to cut that down and make that a higher tier level, just for my sake. There's just a lot. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to ask a question. Everyone gets a chance to get their piece in, say what they want to say, whether it's about my content, whether it's about Nintendo. And I think it'll be a really fun live stream. You know, have that last like 2 hours or something like that. All right. Let's see here. Let me read what some other stuff. Some other people in the chat are saying here. Let me see. So Just Cliff says, you know, after earlier today, should we expect to see more debates with people on the channel? I don't think there's going to be more fan debates. I kind of went over like the ups and downs of like debating someone who's a peer versus debating like a fan, or you know, an anti-fan or whatever you want to consider that guy to be. And I honestly think that just debating fans is just not worth it. But a patron stream once per month, I think, would be a very beneficial thing. And again, we can let the public in on that because really, because one, that's a good advertisement for the Patreon, because the public will be like, wait, I can get on a stream with this guy? Like, yeah, I want to become a patron. Like, that's a great addition for Patreon and a great ad for it. And two, I won't really be responding to the chat during that. Like, I'll introduce everyone and be like, hey, look, I'm not going to really respond to the chat because that's the entire point of the stream, is I'm responding to like the patrons that are there. So, anyways. Let's see here. After what happened earlier, it's good you didn't read the chat. Was the chat pretty good? Oh, I caught that stream and had to show that love with that 25. Thanks, Neil, man. You know me, man. I appreciate that. In fact, that might have just made my options better later today, because I was gonna cook a dinner for my fiance, but I know what she really wants. So I might get to run to the grocery store with some of that 25 and make her a nice little romantic meal tonight. We'll see. Again, she always works late, so. She's always eating dinner at like 10:30, 11 at night, so you might have just got us a little romantic homemade meal later tonight. Anyways, Edward Norton said, you did better than OJ's debate. Well, I think the difference with me and OJ, when me and Player Essence debated, was we basically each had a side of the debate that wasn't wrong. And that made it for a strange debate, because my debate was a hypothetical. My side in that was a hypothetical, hey, here's the thing. I don't like these certain things Nintendo is doing, and I see some correlation to other things I see that EA is doing. And I worry that if we just keep saying this stuff is okay, it could progressively get worse until it becomes like EA. Now, there's no evidence to support that's going to happen, but there's no evidence to support it's not going to happen. It's just a fear. It's a concern I had. His point was that in the here and now, Nintendo is not EA. He's right. Of course he's right. But he doesn't make me wrong either. Like that was the premise of that debate, and it was a very, very strange debate because we kept arguing in circles about things that never refuted each other's points. So that's like, who won that debate? It's like, I don't know if really anyone won between me and OJ. OJ was right about his side. I was right about mine. There was really no right or wrong there, because I was talking about a hypothetical thing and he was talking about today, and it's like, it it was kind of a clashing. It wasn't like the ideal debate. You know, a good debate is where like somebody is staunchly opposed to something and something staunchly for something, and it's the same thing rather than like around the same topic. So that was a really strange debate there. With GameStop, the difference with that debate is that, well, besides the fact that he took it way too far and went personal, is that it was an accusation against my channel that I challenged him to prove was legit. I challenged him to prove that I'm fraudulent, and he couldn't do it. So because he couldn't do it, of course, you know, I did better than I did in the OJ one because it's a pretty simple fact. I'm either fraudulent or I'm not. The EA thing was, well, you know, you're either worried they're going to become like EA or you're not worried that they're going to become like EA. There's not really a right or wrong. It's just, are you worried or are you not worried? This is well, I'm either a fraud and faking this whole thing, and I'm not a real gamer, and I don't care about YouTube, and I don't care about you guys, or I'm not a fraud. And that's it. There's no like middle ground there. So I challenged him to prove it, and I honestly feel like he failed. And he definitely admitted, if you want to go through that stream, he admitted in that stream at one point, I'm not a fraud. So he literally admitted defeat. Some people kept saying, when's he going to admit it? When's he going to admit it? If you actually go through like the last hour or something like that, somewhere in that last hour when things are calm, he does he basically admits I'm not a fraud. You're still going to see him calling me a fraud. On his video, you know, that some of you guys ran over and started leaving comments on. Don't do that, by the way. You're not going to get the result you want anyways. He's responding to people and calling me a fraud again, just trolling because this is what he does. But he admitted on video. I have it on video, you know, in audio of his voice saying that I'm not a fraud. So I won the debate because he literally conceded I won the debate. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious to win the debate when the person who was debating me said I won the debate. Right there during the debate. So he just had misconceptions about me. And again, that's the problem with the internet and YouTube and you guys not really knowing me is misconceptions happen. If you just catch one video of mine or a handful of videos, you act like you think you know everything I think about Nintendo when you don't. Like a lot of the things he kept saying about Nintendo and accusing me of are things I've already criticized Nintendo of. And people like Edward Norton know that. They've watched all my videos, but not everyone has watched all my videos. So they don't know that, hey, I am critical of Nintendo, like all the time. It's just I'm not like I don't feel like there's a reason to continually beat the same criticisms into the ground, which is ironic given the video that's coming out after this live stream is on a topic I have kind of beaten to the ground, but Eric wanted to talk about it on the podcast, so we talked about it. It's coming out tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys are looking forward to that little podcast highlight from last week's podcast. And if you saw last week's podcast, hey, you already know what we're talking about. But yeah, it's just a very interesting thing. The different contrasts in the debate from someone like who like two people who came in with a mutual respect for each other versus a debate about someone calling me a fraud and me asking them to prove it and them failing to prove that I'm a fraud. So it was pretty interesting. Some of the arguments I thought were so asinine. Oh man, like something about how I'm not a real gamer because I don't have all these hours logged in Smash Bros. As if like that's the only game on Switch that matters. Maybe it's the only game that matters to him. I don't know, but it's not the only game that matters. So it's whatever. Let me see here. You did 2. I didn't even know that. Good evening, dude. Hope you're doing well tonight. Hey, T. Hodgins, I'm doing all right. I got draped crumb side. What? What's crumb side? I mean, did you accidentally screw up saying curbside? Let's see here. I had to get an alert for that. I had gotten an alert for the Sunday Night Quickie. I was so confused with the video until I realized it was a dropped. Yeah. The live stream was having an issue on my end, so I had to stop it and then wait a few minutes for it to like close the stream and then restart. It happens on YouTube sometimes. Sometimes YouTube's live stream thing goes a little funky. Sorry you had a rough day. I didn't really have a rough day. It was an interesting debate. I didn't have a rough day though. My day was mostly fine. My kids were a bit. I mean, during that live stream, my youngest son was taking a nap. He actually didn't nap for like the entire 3 hours. That was a miracle. And my daughter was with her other dad, and then my oldest son, he popped in on the stream at one point. He was just like playing tablet and watching TV. Granted, he did that for a little longer today than I like to see him do, but whatever. You know, things happen. It's fine. He goes back to school tomorrow, gets back in his regular routine. It's no big deal. Where's the quickie? It's just the stream. Hey, all it's a reference to is that this is going to be a quick stream. You got about another, I don't know, 20 minutes, half hour. I might text my fiance and see, because if I'm going to go to the store to get groceries for that romantic meal tonight, then I kind of have to wait for her to get home because I can't leave my kids here by themselves. Let me see here. I asked someone, what did he say at the end? Unless it's really, it's pretty bad. what he said towards the end about him as a person, it's pretty dark. I'm not going to repeat it because what he said at the end almost made me not want to even have that stream go live after the fact. But I'm like, you know what? I let the OJ one go live. I'll let that one go live. That stream will probably be why Nintendo doesn't give me any review copies of games in the future. But it's okay. It's not that they're giving me any now, anyways. How much is? I already went over that. Let's see here. From what happened, it showed that you had more maturity than GameSta. I would have stopped after hearing that level of disrespect, but you stayed on, so a great level of respect is deserved. I mean, I don't want to get into maturity levels, because I think the tape speaks for itself. But I let him get under my skin a little more than I should have at moments, but I wasn't going to curse him out. I wasn't going to call him an idiot. I wasn't going to be like, you're wrong for having an opinion. Like, no. I just said, why am I a fraud? Like, what's your explanation that I'm a fraud? Okay, so I don't have a lot of hours in Smash. Is that it? Is that like your entire argument? That like I just don't have a lot of hours in Smash, so I'm a fraud as a YouTuber? Why? Because I posted news videos about Smash Bros, even though I didn't play a bunch of it? Like, all he cares about is people playing games. So go watch a Let's Play channel, man. Like, if you want to just like go to channels where all they're doing is playing games, that's what Let's Play channels are for. Like, they exist. They're popular, even. Like, go to those channels. Those are the people that are literally have their channel all about playing games. My channel's not just about playing games. My channel is about the industry. My channel's about sales. Yes, sales data. I care about that. My channel is about the news cycle. Like, my channel's about a zillion things. Playing games is just part of the territory. It's not the entirety of what my channel's about. Let's see here. It's unlisted? What's unlisted? That live stream I did earlier today is not unlisted. Yeah, Nate, great job being the better man in the talk. I wonder if he wanted you to snap. I don't know what he wanted. I don't know if he was expecting me to start cussing him out and like make myself look really bad, I guess. I don't know what he expected. Because like if he expected me to like lose my crap and like just start acting inappropriate, especially with my child I don't even know if he knew my child was in the room. Then he doesn't really know me at all. Like, that's not who I am. I'm kind of a non-confrontational person unless I need to be. Like, you know, if he walked up on my woman and started saying that stuff to my my fiance, I mean, there'd be a problem. I don't know that I would fight him unless he, if he hit my girl, like that's a totally different thing. But just insulting her, like I'd get between them and be like, dude, you better back off. Like, this is not cool. I don't know what your problem is. Go find somebody else to bully into your personal beliefs because you're jealous of my life or whatever the hell his problem is. But I don't know. Again, though, like, I don't know that he even admitted, like, oh, yeah, some of this stuff I wouldn't say in real life. Like, yeah, I don't think he would have really stepped up and said that about me and my girl in real life. Like, that's the thing about the internet. Like, people are more willing to say stupid things because it's the internet. And, like, he said all that crap, and it's going to have zero impact on his life, right? No one in his life is going to know about it or care. It looks like my fiance is not going to know about the stream either. I mean, I'll tell her I had a debate today, but like I'm not gonna. What's the point on getting into the details like that? It's just gonna make her upset. And like, why? What's the point in getting my fiance upset because some stranger on the internet said something stupid? So do you really like Zelda or what? I love Zelda. I mean, can't you tell? I mean, obviously I got the quote back there. Got a whole bunch of Zelda stuff in all my videos. Yeah, like obviously it's my favorite franchise of all time. So, let's see here. I only listened to the first 5 minutes, kind of saw where it was going, felt bad for Nate, but couldn't listen to that brain dead guy. I understand you're feeling pain fat. Someone has to argue with Nate on game streaming. That would be a nice conversation. I think if I can find a respectable YouTuber who respects me and I respect them back, that would like to debate about game streaming, that would be nice. The thing is, I don't really know if I need to debate about game streaming. I think just a conversation. Now, I should note, the podcast that lands tomorrow publicly is already up for patrons on patreon.com/NintendoPrime. Our new podcast for the week, we do talk about game streaming a little bit. The general topic for that podcast is the new Madbox console that was announced, and the future of gaming, and how, like, PlayStation 5, Xbox Scarlet, game streaming, the Madbox, and Nintendo, like how it all kind of affects each other and where we think gaming's going. So game streaming is definitely talked about in that. But it would be nice to have a more in-depth conversation strictly on game streaming with someone, like especially over a live stream. Who knows? Like, I have that conversation with you guys, but that's not the same thing, right? Like, I don't really know if we need to debate about game streaming per se. But I definitely have a conversation. Let me see here. God bless you, Nate. I would have been that guy. I feel like you should have jumped from a cliff. Yeah, I'm not like, that's just not who I am. You guys should know that by now. Let me see here. Nice job destroying him. Sure. I mean, I won the debate, so. Who's OJ? OJ is the guy who runs Player Essence, the YouTube channel. Nate, I'm heartbroken. What do I do? You need life advice. Well, why are you heartbroken? What happened, man? I'm assuming someone broke up with you, but, like, what happened? Yeah, you got to give me some details. You don't need to go, like, super specific, but I need some generalized details about what happened for me to give you life advice. What I can say is there's always, more fish in the sea. That's just a general note of, like, hey, look, there's always more fish in the sea. It's not the end of the world. But I don't know why you're heartbroken, so I would need more details than you just saying you're heartbroken. And even then, it's not like my advice is the greatest ever, but, I'm willing to listen. OJ's a little too obsessed with JRPGs. He loves OJ. I think OJ is a great channel to follow if you love JRPGs and you love fighting games. That's his wheelhouse. JRPGs and fighting games, like, that's what OJ loves. So great channel to follow for that kind of content. Sonic Man the Best is also over on Twitch. I just thought nice. Let me see. You are still young into the dating game. Pick your head up and walk. Nice. Let's see here. I'm trying to read all this stuff here. Crumb Side is basically games this side of gaming drama YouTubers. Oh, is that what that means? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of drama YouTubers out there, I mean, what are you going to do? I'd like to think I'm not one of them, even though I had the debate that I don't think that makes me a drama YouTuber. I mean, that's just... Guy said some crap about me and called me out and asked me to debate it, and I'm like, fine, come on my channel and prove to me and prove to my fans that I'm a fraud. And he didn't, and then he proved to himself that I wasn't a fraud. It was really, or I guess I proved to him I wasn't a fraud. It was a really weird conversation, but I'm glad I let it go on as long as I did, because I think it made pretty clear about, like, the kind of person he is, the kind of people like that are, and then obviously that when you get down to it, they really might not know enough about people to really say what they're saying and mean what they mean. Why do Rigo Ramirez says, why do some people get so worked up over other YouTubers' video content? Doesn't match their own opinions, and we have an audience and they don't. So it's the same thing, anything, like when a celebrity says something, and I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but when a celebrity says something on Twitter, and when they say that on Twitter, they don't, we'll look at that and be like, man, I really disagree with that political stance, or I really disagree with that opinion. And a lot of people's instant reaction is, gosh, why do they have to spread this garbage on the internet, when really it's just a personal opinion about something that's probably irrelevant. Same thing with YouTubers. Like, I can have my opinions on video games, but I mean, if you don't like it, they get mad, not just that I said it, but that I said it while also having an audience. Like, if I was a dinky YouTuber, most wouldn't care, but like, I'm a YouTuber that does get, usually at least 1,000 views per video. I've got, what, 50 plus people watching, 40 plus people, I guess, watching the stream. Like, I am a person who has an audience, and some people just get mad when things they don't agree with are spewed in front of, a larger audience. So, what are you going to do? Let me see. If you don't have Nintendo stock, you're not a real fanboy. I do not have any Nintendo stock. No. I wish I had enough money to maybe invest, but I don't know if I would ever choose Nintendo stock. Although I think if you would have bought Nintendo stock last year, it would have been a really nice time to buy it, because I think it's going to be rising almost this entire year. He is okay calling games he has never played trash. It says you can't comment on games you have limited playtime in. Yeah, it was weird. And like him saying how he likes indie games, then I ask him what indie game he played in the past year, and he mentions Shovel Knight, and he's like, well, and he didn't even play that on Switch, which is fine. But it's like I asked him about indie games. He mentions that that he can't find the good games on Switch, but he has an Xbox and a PlayStation, so he couldn't find the good games there either. Wouldn't that mean that Xbox and PlayStation also has an issue with having people find quality indie games, and that's why they sell so well on Switch? But like, reality is, he's not someone who really plays a lot of indie games. I mean, he literally exposed himself as like as all indie games aren't trash, but he doesn't play the indie games to know if they're trash. Ergo, all indie games are trash. That's basically what he said. It was a roundabout way of saying they're all trash because this one game he thinks is trash without knowing if it is. I don't know if it's trash. I admit I don't think it looks good, but maybe it's not that bad. I don't know. Carnival Games turned out to be better than I thought it was going to be. So, I mean, that's the thing. You don't really know till you play it. But, by the way, Carnival Games is really only good. But it was a sponsored thing, so, like, I'm not going to go buy it or anything. But I will say, just, like, as one bit of earnest opinion, if you have young children, like 2, 3, 4, 5, Carnival Games is a great family game for that age group. Because it's all played with the joystick. And, granted, that'll be hard for some of the really young kids. Or one button. A lot of the games in there, you can play with the one button. And that makes it a really enjoyable experience to kind of play with your kids. So I will say that like it's a very specific use case that I think Carnival Games is actually a really fun game to play. And thankfully, I'm that use case because I have a 3-year-old. So Mark Greenberg's up in here because he wants to yell about the Saints no call and that pass interference that should have been called. Oh man, yeah, that was a bad no call. I don't know how that wasn't called. I mean, he basically tackled the guy, but I don't really have a horse in the race for who won those playoff games today. I mean, I kind of didn't want New England to win, but so it means I'm probably going to be rooting for the Rams in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's not the Rams' fault that call wasn't made. It's just the refs blew it. It's hard to see refs blow a call like that. Let's see here. Happy 44K, thanks. I've actually been bouncing around on 44K today. I've hit 44K, I think, on 4 different occasions today, 5 different, I think. And then I've dropped. And then I've bounced back. And then I've dropped. And then I bounced back. And then, like, right now I'm at 4404. At the end of the stream, I might be back down to 44998. Like, what are you going to do? But we're pretty much hit 44K today, which is awesome. On our way to 50. Can't wait to get to 50. 50 is a nice number. I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to 50. Then after 50, it's a road to 100K, baby. We're not doing any stops in between here. We're going from 50 to 100. I want to hit 100K in 2019. I don't know how we're going to do it because I can't just keep giving away Switches. Like I just literally can't afford to keep doing that. But yeah, it's going to be nice. Can't wait. See here. Note 9 tech support in the house. Game streaming edition. Nice. What do you want to see from third parties on Nintendo Switch in 2019? Just more support than we had last year. Whatever that means. Glurby wants me to wish him luck tomorrow. You're competing in a Wrestling City Championship game. I'm determined to win it. Hey, good luck, man. Seriously. For real. Good luck. I wish you luck from the bottom of my heart, man. I played a few championship games back when I was in high school and stuff. I wasn't a wrestler, but I did like basketball and stuff like it. Good luck, man. Are you gonna do a 50K? Where was that? Are you gonna? Jason says, are we gonna do a 50K subscriber special once I'm able to reach it? I'll probably do a 50K live stream. Yes. In that live stream, I might pick the winner. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that on a live stream or not, but I might pick the winner for the Super Smash Bros. Giveaway. But I don't really want to advertise that stream as like, hey, come see the winner of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Giveaway. Like, don't really want to do it that way. I'm thinking of it now, I probably won't do it on live stream anyways, because I have to I have to contact the person and make sure, like, you know, they're there, and you got to give them like 48 hours to respond. And if they don't, then I got to pick a new winner. So I guess I probably won't do that on live stream. But when we do hit 50K that day, I will select the winner and then try to contact them. And if, you know, contact falls through after 48 hours, you know, I'll pick a new winner. But so I have to do that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We're 6K away from that based on current pacing. We'll get there maybe in March, maybe the month after, April. But it'd be nice to get there sooner than later, that's for sure. Should I get a Switch now, wait for the Pro model? We don't know if we're getting a Pro model, Luke, so I don't know what to tell you. If you feel comfortable waiting until sometime in the summer to know, great. If you don't want to wait, then don't wait. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I know it's weird with all the rumors circulating. It's kind of a funky time right now. Maybe you can find if you can find a great deal on a used one, I would say jump all over that. As long as you look at it before you buy it, or get it from a place like eBay where they have a good return policy if it's not what they claim it to be. Like if they say like new, but then it's like bent and the kickstand's broken and the Joy-Cons are loose, like that's not like new. Like new would be like, oh, there's like one little scratch. What's the difference between RPG and JRPG? Not much. JRPG is just a way to signify the RPGs from Japan. Just like WRPG means Western RPG. They're all just RPGs. JRPG usually just signifies a style of RPG that comes out of Japan. So, because there's been like Dragon's Dogma is a Western style RPG that came out of Japan, but no one calls it a JRPG because it doesn't play like a JRPG. So it just represents like a different style of RPG, but they're all RPGs. You can just not call it a JRPG and just call it an RPG, and you'd be fine. Octopath Traveler, is it a JRPG or an RPG? It's both. So just call it an RPG if you want. Let's see here. FYI, you don't like Prime News anymore? Maybe it's just you. I'm sure it's not just you, Pain Fat. There's been other people I think that don't like that too. There's people who love it. All I know about Prime News is I love it now. And I think that's maybe the most important thing. Because Prime News went from being like this daily news recap show, which was okay because I didn't cover all the news, to being a weekly recap show where it's basically news I've already covered and already went in depth on. There's nothing, for people like you, Pain Fat, that probably watch almost all of my videos, there's not going to be anything in Prime News for you in the first place. There's just not. Prime News is not going to have anything new for you. It's a quick summary of news from the past week. And it's all well, besides like the occasional like, oh man, I forgot to talk about Power Rangers, so we're going to mention that. But it's a summary of news I've already covered. So for me, to make it entertaining for me, I like to have a little fun with it, tell little jokes, have a little dry humor, because that's who I am. Like when people complained, you know, hey, I never want to see you dance again. And then I started dancing all the time. And now I'm dancing at the end of those videos. Like, that's just it's a part of me I don't really put into a lot of my videos, and I'm really enjoying that part of Prime News. I'm really enjoying making Prime News a bit of a less serious show. It is a serious recap done in a non-serious fun manner, and not everyone's going to be into that, and that's okay. You want something more serious, Spawnwave has a show that goes up every single week, and then a recap he drops on Saturdays. Like, he does those way more in a serious tone than I do my shows. I mean, he has some dry humor here and there, but it's few and far between. In general, when you watch his stuff, there's not a lot of humor. You know, it's a lot of, here's the news, here's my thought, here's the news, here's my thought, here's my news, here's my thought. Very, very mechanical, and that's good. People love that. So, good for him that he has that on his channel. Fill up that debate podcast was cringeworthy. I understand, man. Sonic Forces loves Prime News. Let me see here. I wish 2K would bring back WWE, but an actual good game. WWE too, like, has issues on other systems too. Just it was really bad on Switch. They need to get a better team or figure something out about that game. I don't know. I used to play wrestling games when I was a kid, but I haven't really played them in a long time, so I guess I probably shouldn't judge. I'm just basing off what I've heard. And it's okay to base your thoughts off what you heard, but I mean, you know, I'm not really one to judge unless you fully play it. Anyone in the Super Bowl is better than Cheesehead. By the way, a Vikings fan. Hold on. Let me take something for you here. I'm sorry. What did you say again? Something about Vikings? I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I love the TV show. Let's see here. Got to be careful. I'm glancing at the time. I still have time. I'm gonna actually text her right now and see if she wants me to go out and get that stuff, or if she'd rather me just make the food I have. All right. Let's see here. I'll just text my fiance to see if she'd rather me go out to the store, or she wants food ready when she gets here. If she wants food ready when she gets here, then I gotta end this in about 10 minutes. If she'd rather wait, then that's fine. She doesn't work tomorrow, so I mean I still work tomorrow, but she doesn't work tomorrow. Let me see here. Prime News is good. It's just not as good as his other content has been lately. Well, I mean, what's nice is, I guess, about that comment, Philip, is you're saying all my other content's gotten a lot better. So now Prime News is at a level for you where it's my worst of all my content. I think Prime News is like one of my best pieces of work I do every week, but that's because I enjoy it so much. I enjoy, like, I come up with everything on the fly, and if I don't have anything funny to say, I'm trying not to say anything now, but like, I didn't plan that Power Rangers, like, when I was doing the little intro to it, and I said it's morphin time, that was completely spontaneous. I didn't plan that at all. Like, I like coming up with that spontaneous stuff. It's fun to me. So some days based on the stories, I have more spontaneous stuff than I do for others, but it's all right. It's not going to be for everyone. Let me see here. Hey, do you think I should get Xenoblade Chronicles 2? I mean, do you like RPGs, Rubber Duck? Do you like JRPGs? Do you like action JRPGs? If you do, then you'll probably like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If you don't, then you probably won't. How will I contact the winner of the giveaway? Everybody who enters the giveaway, it takes your email information. So I contact their email. So if your email information when you signed up for that was not valid, then that's not my problem. That's why I do the 48-hour window. So it's all through email. I email, and they get back to me or they don't. So, and sometimes the email's like, hey, if you signed in with Twitter, well, it's whatever email is attached to your Twitter. If you signed in with Facebook, it's whatever email you had attached to your Facebook. So, like, that's how the giveaways work on Gleam.io. You contact through email. They were allowing people refunds, which had to be manually done since Nintendo doesn't have a refund policy. Yeah, I know. Nintendo does need to get a refund policy. That is something I haven't talked about very often, but they definitely need some sort of refund policy. Yes, I was on Spawn Wave last night. Yes, I was, Sonic Forces. Yep. I was actually invited on. I didn't ask. He just, out of the blue, Dreamcast guy couldn't make it because he wasn't going to get back to his hotel in time. So he's like, hey, you want to fill in for Dreamcast guy? I'm like, heck yeah, I do. Because I messaged him. I told, hey, man. I told him like a couple weeks ago. I left a tweet out on Twitter, and then I kind of DM'd him. I'm like, hey, man, if you ever have an open spot, consider me, even if it's last minute. You know, I might be able to make it work. I won't always be able to make it work, but sometimes I can. And I'd like to be considered as an alternate for the show. I know you have a full cast, so I don't expect to become like a regular. But who knows? Maybe if you end up needing an alternate every week, I become a regular. But you know, I don't, and I said it's not because of the gifts. It's not because you bought people gifts on the episode I was on. I don't really care about that. I just really enjoy the show and I enjoy talking, and I hope he agreed that, you know, I add a little something different compared to some other people. I hope. I don't know. Watch the show for yourself and see if you think I added anything. Germaphobe says, hey Nate, I appreciate you giving that loudmouth a chance to voice his opinions, but he was awful. He just makes videos about how much he hates other channels. All he did was try to attack you. I mean, that's kind of his shtick, so. as I said, I'm not really planning to just like have debates with a whole bunch of people like that all the time. That's not. I don't think it's productive to do that all the time. I did it this one time. I don't know that I'm going to do it again. It's not like I don't regret it. I just don't know that it's a productive use of my time. You know, that 3 hours I could have made a different video today or something. But hey, it had a lot of live viewers. People tuned in, and then it's got a lot of views. It's one of my most watched live. I wonder. I'd actually have to debate. Does this have more? I wonder if that debate has more views than the one I did with OJ. That would be very curious for me to check out. But I guess the sports video game genre is dead at this point, or just continue with shovelware. I love sports video games, so I'm not one to talk. I'm one to talk about defending sports video games. I love sports video games, but yeah. One thing I will say, I was disappointed. I tried out NBA Live through EA Access 2 days ago, and I was very disappointed to find out you can't create your own teams in franchise mode. That's one of my favorite things to do in NBA 2K, so I was kind of upset that that doesn't exist in Live right now. And that was through EA Access, so I don't own the game. K Boomski 17 says, do you think Nintendo will just drop Piranha Plant in Smash, or will they have a direct in February to advertise it, because they are advertising for him to come out in February? They could just drop him. They're starting to remind people in Smash, hey, be sure to register or buy the character. So I don't know. I mean, they could just drop. I assume they'll at least put out a tweet saying, hey, it'll be available in a couple days or something. But there could be a Nintendo Direct coming this week too. That's something to consider. Joke here 4754 says, I was glad to see you get a seat at the Spawnwave table last night. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was nice just because I was invited. So, it was nice to feel wanted. It was oh, I must have left a good impression with John the first time around that he wanted me on a second time. And I feel like I was more free-flowing and more willing to talk. I think I even cut John off at one point. But he actually didn't mind it because it kind of flowed with everything. And I think that's what's cool is that meant I was comfortable with those people and they were comfortable with me. And there was no, it was very natural flowing. And I stayed quiet during conversations where I'm you know what, let them talk, because I don't really, when they were talking about Mortal Kombat 11, I think I mentioned, I did bring up the fact that, Reptile appears to be leaked, because they kept talking about characters that might come, and no one had mentioned the leak yet, so I brought it up, but that was it. I just added to the conversation naturally, but I stayed out of the conversation about the animations and the moveset, because you guys know I'm not a big fighting game fan, so I don't really know or am knowledgeable enough about this, but I added to the conversation because I knew about a piece of news that they hadn't brought up yet. So yeah, it was definitely fun, and I think it might have even when I mentioned Red Dead that I just started Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it even caught John off guard a bit, because I think he might have been under the impression that I only played Nintendo games because my channel is called Nintendo Prime, and I'm the only channel on that show that is just Nintendo, right? All the other channels, while they might lean towards Nintendo games, including his own, they obviously play other games. So I think that actually caught him a little off guard. Wait, you actually pay attention to what's going on in gaming and don't just play Nintendo games? Yeah, I play other games. I'm a gamer first. I'm a Nintendo fan, a Nintendo gamer, but I am a gamer first before any of that. So it was nice to kind of catch him off guard with that a bit, where he's like, oh man, really? You play that? Yeah, I have an Xbox One X. What? It even shocked him when I said, oh, what do you play it on? I'm playing on Xbox. Oh, dude, it's gorgeous. It was just nice seeing seeing his facial reaction. Oh, really, man? I didn't know. See, that's what happens, when people don't know you. They think they know things about you and make assumptions. But and it wasn't a bad assumption. I'm a Nintendo channel. Of course I own a Switch. Of course I had a 3DS. But I was useful to know that I had an Xbox One X. Let's see here. I feel like we've been getting a pro model, blah, blah, blah. Okay. ASMR. Hi, everyone. No, I'm not going to do ASMR right now. I love the FU Game Crew style of humor. Don't know what that says about me, but hey, do your thing, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't say much about you. I like a lot of different styles of humor, but it's one thing to like a bunch of different styles of humor. It's another thing for you to be able to do that kind of humor, right? I like tons of crazy types of humor, but like I like a lot of things that Kevin Hart does, but I could never do the humor that Kevin Hart does. So I like some of the humor that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does, but like I could never do that kind of humor. So the kind of humor that I do that just comes naturally to me is kind of the cheesy, corny style humor that I do. Like Spawnwave today, in his video he put up on that controller, he was like reading a comment at the beginning that said, "Oh, fix the Sega box in the background." He looked back at it and went, "Oh, it's crooked." So then he really made it crooked the other way. That's the kind of humor I can do, like on the fly, that just comes natural. That like it's humor I don't think about. That Morphin Time Power Rangers thing, I didn't think about that. I just did it, right? So that's the thing. Like, do you think that John actually thought about that? I mean, he probably knew because he picked out that comment, so he probably knew he was going to do it. But like, as soon as he read that comment, the first thought in his mind was, "I'm making that thing crooked the other way." Like, it's just a natural thing. So that's the kind of humor I can do, is the kind that's that natural. I don't even have to think about it. It's like I read off this thing, or I see the headline, or I read about the story, or I read that comment, and the first thought that comes into my mind is like a comedy thing, and that's what I do. So. That's what I do in Prime News anyways. Hammer time. Where's my wife work? She is an in-home care specialist. So she works in like these homes that have elderly people who have issues, and she takes care of them. So it's not a CNA though. It's actually below a CNA. So like people think CNAs do grunt work. There's a position below CNAs that do even more grunt work. This would be your first RPG. Ooh. Your first. So you've never played an RPG. I don't know that I would start with Xenoblade if you've never played an RPG. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has a lot of complications. That heck you might get into. You might love it. I don't know you, but like I would never suggest a Xenoblade game as your first RPG. I mean, Octopath Traveler would sit more well as a first RPG in my opinion than that. Then again, you might not like that art direction, so that might not be for you. And that's turn-based RPG. You might not like a turn-based. You might like a more action RPG. I personally would not suggest Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for someone who's never played an RPG before. Just my opinion. Maybe someone in the chat has a better suggestion, but like as Ultimate Keymaster, like it can get pretty complex. And I understand, I don't understand all the complexities yet, but I'm not super deep into it yet. But like it's a very complex game. The Torna DLC is actually a little more streamlined, but yeah, I feel like there's, and you might, as I said, you might love the complexities, but I feel like there's other RPGs to try to see if you enjoy them before you go into something like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that's going to suck your life away for like the next 6 months. Like that's what RPGs do. Like they suck your life away for 6 months at a time. And that's one reason why I haven't gotten super far into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because I have a channel with other things to do. I can't just play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for 6 months. Yeah, Spawnwave puts up the Spawncast like a week later. Now, if you do have the notification or a direct link to it, you can watch it at any time. I think I actually, on my Twitter, I have a tweet to the direct link to the Spawncast. So what happens is he just has them unlisted. It's just like with me. All of my live streams after the fact go unlisted. So I think he just has it unlisted. So if you have the link to the stream, you can always go watch it anytime you want. He just sends it public a week later. And he does that. I don't know why he does it a week later, but I should ask him about that. Why he does that a week later? I think a lot of people actually want to know. He's probably answered it before, but I'm curious. Like, why does he publish them a week later? But I'm sure it has the YouTube algorithm or something. He publishes it at a time when he's not going to have a lot of videos popping up. Let's see. But yeah, I think I have a link to it on my Twitter still. I don't think I deleted the tweet. And he never asked me to delete the tweet, so because I don't think he really cares. He knows people are watching it that got the notification and stuff. Would I like to see a new Punch-Out on the Switch? Sure, why not? I like Punch-Out games, so. Love the debate. You endure the madness. Thanks, man. Spawnwave, what are your thoughts on Nintendo using social media accounts to announce updates instead of traditional Nintendo Direct? I'm fine with it. The only thing they've announced on social media I thought was weird was the Yoshi's Craft. Well, actually, they didn't even they did that through a trailer. Yoshi's Crafted World release date, I'm very surprised, was done through a trailer and wasn't done through a Nintendo Direct. That was the only one thing that's been really strange. All the rest, I think, were small enough deals that it's okay. But the Yoshi Crafted World date, that shocked me. That was just in a random trailer they threw up one day. But, hey, Nintendo's going to Nintendo. Most popular video, my body is ready. You started this meme. Hi, how's it going? Long time ago. That was one of the first videos we put on this channel. So we're watching the E3, me and the Zelda Informer crew, whatever. We're watching that E3, and as soon as he like stepped on that thing, we're like, my body is ready. We're like, oh my, okay, clip, upload. We didn't really think anything of it at the time. YouTube wasn't even a huge deal back then, but yeah, we're I think the most watched version of it. So, I say were because it was Zelda Informer's channel back then. It wasn't just me. I was running it, but it wasn't just me. So, can't remember if it was my idea or someone else's. It might have been this guy named Nick's idea. It might have been his idea to clip it. But, if Mortal Kombat got on Switch, an exclusive Nintendo character, what Nintendo character do you think would be? Personally, I don't think it's going to. I don't think Mortal Kombat's going to have an exclusive Nintendo character. I don't think Nintendo would be okay with one of their characters going through a fatality. They were fine in Soul Calibur 2, but there weren't fatalities in Soul Calibur 2. So, Matthew Campbell says, Nate, I loved your take on Star Wars franchise this week on Spawncast. You contributed more this time than last time. Well, as soon as I saw one of the topics was Star Wars games, I'm like, oh, I love Star Wars games. I just do. And it's not even just on Switch. Like, KOTOR's not on Nintendo's platform, and I love KOTOR. Like I even played the Old Republic, the MMO. Like, I love Star Wars games. So, of course, I have a lot to say about that. But basically, I had something to say on all the topics for the most part. So, it was a good cast for me because I knew a little bit of something about everything we were talking about. So, one thing I will say I wish that Spawnwave did is maybe give the topics ahead of time. But what are you going to do, Just in case there's some news or something that I should be looking up. Hey, we just had 5 bits from Go With The Craigs at Spawncast. Goes up right away for patrons a week. Okay, that's why. All right, cool. I didn't know that. I'm not a patron of his, so maybe I should join his Patreon. I know he has a Discord server. Maybe I should become a patron of his coming up here. Maybe I'll do it if he does a live stream sometime. Maybe I'll do it in the middle of a live stream. But yeah, become a patron. All right, cool. I was looking at his Patreon the other day. He's got a nice little Patreon going. Well, $500 a month, 250 or so patrons. Let's see here. What are my thoughts on Spirit Tracks? Love it. It's your least favorite Zelda game because of the travel system. I love the travel system. I love that on rails firing stuff. I love that. I hate Phantom Hourglass and I love Spirit Tracks. It's like polar opposite opinions. Phantom Hourglass to me is the worst Zelda game ever made. Spirit Tracks is top 10. Like, I love Spirit Tracks. So, unfortunately, you're not going to see me hating on that game for the travel system. I love the travels. I love the boss fights. I love the dungeons. I love the exploration. It's a more limited exploration because of the travel system, but I like it. I like it a lot. I like Zelda's your little sidekick in the game. I love everything about Spirit Tracks. Not too much I hate about that game, other than the fact that Phantom Hourglass had to come first. Let's see. I'm looking at the time. Okay. All right. When do you think Animal Crossing is going to release? Later this summer. Let's see here. Wait for Dragon Quest 11 on your Switch. Yeah, Dragon Quest 11. Dragon Quest games are usually good for your first RPG, so Dragon Quest 11 might be a good one to wait for. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Surprised Nate kept his cool during the debate, gave parenting advice, spoke over without listening. He was a detractor, no legit case. Would hurt his reputation to clip out that debate. I didn't see this podcast. Hope it doesn't take months to convert to video format again. Yeah, dude. Like even the debate today. Like there's only 2 hours of it up on YouTube, even though it's a 3-hour. I don't know what YouTube's got going on, but all right. Well, I'm going to go, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I said it was going to be a quickie. My fiance just texted me. She's on her way home, so I got to figure out the whole dinner thing, what's happening with that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch all of you guys in the next one. Peace out. Peace out, A-Town. This is one of the lamest things I think I've ever done on a live stream right now. Seriously.